Democracy. Radio Democracy. On news, views, and entertainment. Radio Democracy. Radio Democracy. Radio Democracy. On news, views, and entertainment.
Radio Democracy 98.1. We believe in no political party.
Alright, the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. It's exactly 7:30 a.m. from us 2 o'clock. Short 90 from our brain come to you with news and current affairs program. Good morning, Salon Station.
From New Englandville Studios, good morning and welcome to the first edition of your program Good Morning Saloon for this week. We come to you live from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Today on Monday, March 23rd, 2026. And we'll bring the program to you this Monday morning. My name is Usman Kamara.
And Musa Kamara Naminim. Good morning. Inside today's edition of the program Good Morning Saloon, according to the team lead for Washnet's Saloon, Musa Ansumana Soko, one challenge we don't happen na the water sector now because the institutions them we responsible for water na the country know the work as one flag bearer aspirants for the All People's Congress Party, Dr. Ibrahim Bangura, say Salon get important role for play as ECOWAS chair for engage world leader them for make peace between America, Israel and Iran. And inside the edition of the program Good Morning Saloon, let democracy go look inside the water challenge where the country they face and what in authority them they do for address them.
Well, this and plenty other story than they for inside the program this morning. Members say they listen we live on www.radiodemocracy.sl. Members say Nali Rock Metal Group the sponsor Radio Democracy for bring the program Good Morning Saloon come to you. And this program is powered by Afisel. You listen we live from radio partner them. Radio Chalet 89.5 na Koinaduga and Falabadi Street. Same way so on Radio Maleng 88.5, Radio 1G11.3 na Pujondi Street, Radio Colenta 90.0 na Cambia, Radio Moa 105.5 na Kailang, Vupad Radio na Waterloo, Voice of Sandon Radio 95.7 na Konodi Street, Voice of Karine na Kamakuro 98.0, Voice of Masoro Pujondi Street, Advocacy Radio Putlokodi Street, Radio Katsbami on 106.7 na Tonkolimba, and at FM on 95.9 na Moyambadi Street. The program na Good Morning Saloon. We come to you live from Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. You can send in your message on the number 077981981 and drop in your message on our Radio Democracy Facebook page and YouTube page. But firstly, Musa, is it belated?
Eid Mubarak, belated.
How you spell that?
Yeah. Well, it was good, and after fasting, this year na 30 days complete. Yeah. And I hope I shall say keep a holy, like
holy,
me.
Holy. We pray that all we would ask God for, ego accept during the fasting.
I mean, the program Good Morning Salon they continue, and is it safe for say belated Eid to listeners and viewers of Radio Democracy?
Of course.
The program Good Morning Salon they continue. We start for look at issues to go say one flag bearer aspirants na the All People's Congress Party, Dr. Ibrahim Bangura. Don't say Salon gets important role for play as ECOWAS chair for engage world leader them for make peace between America, Israel and Iran. He talked this in our interview with Democracy where he talk about the Eid celebration and our government go address hardship we in a saloon. Well, Dr. Ibrahim Bangura talk more to Cherno Jalo inside this interview.
When a Muslim would just done the fasting. And at the end of the fasting, you get the Eid, the prayer. And as a Muslim, the practicing Muslim, I join Muslims across the world for celebrate this Eid. So I decide it's time for go at the Victoria Park Central One for joining people then for the prayers.
Normally, situation like the one you're in a politician, people can want for use and say it is the opportunity for campaign.
No, I don't pray since at the age of 7, 8. I don't celebrate Eid every year. While people can say waiting and choose for one for say, I do as a Muslim way believe say for join and commiserate with Muslims across the world on this particular occasion.
Okay, so now a lot of people don't pray, they don't keep the holy month of Ramadan, 30 days don't complete. What's your message to them people today?
At this particular point, my message is one of hope and peace. The world is in a difficult and a trying time. We see the current war at the Middle East, the attack where happened in Iran, and also waiting to happen in other countries then at the Middle East, Iran, the retaliation. We should see the world there at a stage where we need peace. We need peace in every country, in every household. So I will say to my country Muslim them that now we do all what we able to do to ensure say the world gets the kind of peace we yearn for. Without peace, they get development, they get progress. We need hope again in a country like Sierra Leone, where people go through very difficult times. The hardship, the pasmak, the economy, they do well. We not thrive in the way we're supposed to thrive as a nation. They do we own campaign with the aim of ensuring that we bring everybody together and also get people there for no say the kind of change we they want to see they on the way.
Okay, so now finally, as we wrap up the interview, I good that make mention of the Iran war. We don't see videos on social media where people now this country they allege say now Muslims they use they go that one they come to salon context. The message also to people else.
I don't know what you mean by the drama into salon context.
You see the two support say we support Iran because now Muslim states and people want to bring this situation like a regional war. The message as a Muslim.
No, for me, I want global peace. I want all the institutions, the global institutions, help to bring sanity in the world. And myself will help in my own little way through the write-ups what I do on peace, share my own ideas and opinion on how we will be able to achieve peace. We own small communities there, like country like Sierra Leone, Africa as a region, and also the world as a whole. In the last 15, 20 years, I don't write on global peace building very extensively in book chapters, in books, in journal articles. I'm a peace builder. I don't want the people use this as something for further divide, people across nations and create divides them was very artificial. Now we all seek or contribute to the kind of peace we want in this world.
Finally, Doc, your message to the government with regards to how we use, the current situation at hand for pushing the effect way, the war in Iran, we use economic mention of don't bring on a lot of countries there, including Sierra Leone.
Well, the war in Iran gets significant implications for all countries across the world. It will lead to hike in fuel prices, Also, Sierra Leone are part of a global community. Currently, Salon de lead ECOWAS. We're able to use that kind of platform then for make our voice be heard globally. I wish the government go play a leading role in the region for stimulate a conversation on how West Africa will engage other global leaders then in the search for peace, security, and stability globally.
The program Good Morning Salon, they continue. They come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1 FM. That now one flag bearer aspirants. Now the All People's Congress Party. When Dr. Ibrahim Bangura made a talk to Cherno Jalo instead of interview, they said the call on the country for play parts for able solve global conflict them. The program Good Morning Salon, they continue. They come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1 FM.
As you hear one of headlines to them inside the program this morning, Radio Democracy go look inside what a challenge where the country they face and waiting the ministry don't they do for address as alone they join other country then at the World for Celebrate World Water Day. Inside the studios this morning, I want to welcome the Minister of Water Resources, when Dr. Sao Pato Hannah Aisata Max Kain. Good morning, my welcome to Radio Democracy.
Good morning, listeners.
It is small, eh?
Yes.
I think when we take this position at the first candidates.
No, I've been here.
Okay. Continue for the way to inside the program. Same way, so inside the program, we get engineer Mariwan Kalon, the managing director for Guma Valley Water Company. Good morning, sir. Welcome to Radio Democracy.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
Okay. Continue for the way to inside the program. The program now Good Morning Salon. We come to you live from Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Musa?
Inside the program Good Morning Salon, we continue for look at issues as we will come to we studio guest them inside the program Good Morning Salon. The program they continue. Meanwhile, we can have studio one time as we producers the signal to we for come to we studio guest them as my colleague don't introduced we studio guest them already. Today now World Water Day. The world they observe every year, and the theme for this year, the global theme for this year, now water and gender, and where water flows, equality grows. But the local theme we Salon they adopt, with the Ministry of Water Resources they adopt in a year of accelerating service delivery. Earlier, we don't get we studio guest them. We don't introduce now the program. We get Dr. Sao Anna Kwakto Maxkine. We now the Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation. Once again, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Good morning. Yeah.
World Water Day. Is it Salon celebrating or observing?
Yeah, Salon, as part of the global community, they celebrate with the rest of the world for bring awareness on issues surrounding water, and this year specifically, as you say, the issue of gender, the issue of how man and woman then they within the whole water architecture, so that this World Water Day, we're not just Salon, we're joining the rest of the world.
And the local team we unado adopt a year of accelerating service delivery, we na government central team for 2026. As you say, they join the rest of the world. For we listeners and viewers, Salon get anything for celebrating the water sector?
A lot. So I don't get a lot for celebrate. I think when your colleagues say that the first year, I think sometimes I've been there. I've been done come when I take over.
Okay.
And I highlight a lot of, I give like a picture of what's in the water situation in like the country. And I also been highlight, that's like 2 years ago, highlight the major challenges. Like for example, this morning when I start into when I talk about Asumana Soko, when a very strong civil society activist saying the sector is uncoordinated. I think 2 years ago when I came, I did say that it was disjointed, a lot of things going here and there. But I want to say a lot has been achieved. So because we don't achieve a lot, I should say during the course of the program, me and the boss for Guma go highlight, not just for Freetown Usai or Western area Usai Guma Day, but also other parts of the country. As the program they progress, we will talk about that. And did say waiting I be intent for do, for move and forward from that narrative we've been get so many challenges. That not me say challenge and not it, but then it will good for that we go through the trajectory on how we move from that point there in 2003 to now.
All right, from we take the office day to now, waiting don't happen with different from the previous term day.
Okay, the first thing we say is that we needed for do more investigation into the situation and waiting they cause them challenge them. So we institute with key partners, World Bank, wash diagnostic, not to just the water, because say the ministry mandates now on water and sanitation. We look at water and sanitation and hygiene challenges, the whole diagnostic where we done 2024. And after that diagnostic day, we don't get all the information and the data. In fact, now President Bio been launched last year in July. Now we decided that for the first time we get a national wash development program where they span for a period of 10 years. And that program there, now the diagnostic study, now informal, we also reiterate that the challenges that we have been talking about 2 years ago. And that sector program where we develop, now in the guide the sector, everybody in the sector, be you government or outside government, we get that plan there. And it was done with all stakeholders, we in government, outside government, like Soko, we talked this morning. So once we don't get that plan there, now from that plan, we they make sure say every institution or every entity, whether you're government or non-governmental, whatever programs you develop, get for stem from that program there. Because planning is a very powerful tool. When you do that, then you're able to know how you address the challenges that we don't highlight. So from that, we make sure say that plan they align. We now develop a 10-year also within the ministry, a 10-year strategic plan. We go guide we for 10 years. And that plan, of course, we all know cannot stand in isolation. It aligned to the medium-term national development plan. And in that national development plan, water has been identified as one of the critical sectors, not just looking at it from the social perspective, but also in terms of economic development for empower the productive sector. So that plan, they align to that. And when I'm sure Engineer Mariwan it will tell you now how also at different levels, the different entities, them, Salwako, Guma, NWRMA, even NGOs, they make sure they then develop their own strategic plan from that national sector development program. That's now one major thing where at least then they guide, they provide like a roadmap how we want for work now the water sector. That's now one. And then another thing where we look at, where will be mentioned, now being the issue of financing in the water sector. There's always this misconception, well, I not blame people and because when they see water they come from God, you see the streams and all, you see and like free. But the reality is that for you able to carry safe water go to people, it involves a lot of money. It's capital intensive. So we also focus on financing. How will they finance the water sector? A lot of people in terms of investments, they're not really see as very attractive. So now one thing that we don't move forward for, make sure so we get a lot of potential financing for coming. And we don't succeed for do that with major agencies then, where they fund programs. And even with government, we don't able for succeed for get some financing for that sector there. But they not only stop there, one other major side we've been always missing in the water sector. Now how you get private sector for invest. But for the past 1 year, because of the systems we don't put in place, and because of also looking not just at the system, but also the legal framework where they encourage people for once for can invest, we don't get so many interest that we don't show, and we don't they go through a process where they look at them for see if the ideals they match with what we as the government want and what the government, the people of Sierra Leone want. So there's a lot of things don't go into place. But then Engineer Mariwango were more tangible things where don't happen. Like for example, expanding storage systems. Okay. One going to our left hand for the engineer for handle.
All right. You don't explain most of the important or development in there where you don't come with since we take over that office day. But again, the ordinary Sierra Leonean at times not too concerned about things that we can do on the paper. How some of them policies there don't meet the local people where they suffer for water?
One thing I would say is, and I'm very thankful for when I take over 2 years ago, there's not every other way people not go call me, say, oh, something happened, something happened. But for the past 2 years, I mean up to now, I can tell you substantially say it reduced. And me they get feedback, not just from people in government, but also people in civil society, SOCO and others, also from the citizens. We not say we don't get the 100%. I mean, that would be a utopian way of thinking. We're not going to ever happen. But what we do as the government now for make sure say we substantially able for reach. And there are programs where they go on now, as I say, I don't want to delve into Guma and domain, but I can just pinch it. I don't want to take over waiting engineer one for say. But yesterday I opened social media and I see, those tank that we don't do now, that Babadori tank, now IMAT area BND. Over 8 tanks where they improve the reservoir, where they make it able for store water during the rain season. And you can see the water they go, that now one. We also, if you look, people where they go around, the pipelines, where they change a lot of the infrastructure, the pipes, so they be not all outdated, rusty. So we they change that one day and make sure so we connect more areas. Again, sorry,
So
but
like-
that's,
like,
so it's a lot of things that are happening.
Yeah.
The community program, those tanks, we get tanks in our deprived communities where they carry bags of water. It's a lot has happened, really.
We dey look at like the implementation, but for you at the policy level, now we look at you are the first minister of water resources. We take over the ministry. We now Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
And we get the implementation. Now, one way people think say is still not materialized yet and not fully implemented. Which aspect of sanitation where the water resources they implement and which one left at the Ministry of Health?
Nothing not left in the Ministry of Health. The whole sanitation brief moved to the Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation.
Is it fully implemented now?
Implementation is gradual. We are implementing programs. I mean, for sanitation, I can tell you that a lot of steps we don't take in terms of sanitation. When you work, you got to make sure so you get the tools that we work with. For example, the National Sanitation Plan, the NSGP, we don't make sure say for safely managed sanitation. We don't get that plan the way now we work with. And we work with are not just African but the whole country. We don't revise, for example, the open defecation free protocol, where they make sure say we go into communities, work with them for make sure say they're not they defecate outside. And I can proudly say to you that 24 chiefdoms have been declared open defecation free. I know 24 out of 119 is still a long way gone, but the journey of 1,000 miles, they say, will start with one step. So we are getting there, because when we can't, it was less than 10, but now we have 24 open defecation free. We also, they look at, we don't certify communities, the fecal sludge, for example, this the fecal sludge management guidelines. We also don't review that, because we know say a lot of times, them motorcar the way they go to the sludge, we not been get that coordinated way, but now we make sure so we get that guidelines there, working with the local councils, from the time when they go take the feces to the side when they go deposit them, that chain, that service chain, we don't strengthen them. And not only that, in fact, when we had a meeting with them, one of the truck driver then talk say, now the first time they're able to call them where they really take the feces along into a meeting. So that was a real leap. That is the people who they do the real work, we brought them to the table so that we all were able to look at it. So these are some of the things where we don't do a lot into sanitation. Then of course the community-led management strategy for sanitation, we don't get that in place. We get the staff then within every district, and then staff they work with local councils. So with Ministry of Health also, we're working with them collaboratively, because when you look at the health sector, there's a strong linkage between sanitation and health, sanitation and hygiene and health,
Okay.
because you have health in health facilities and all. So they work collaboratively, but the brief is with the Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation.
It's continue for the week inside the program in name na Dr. Sao Pato Hana Aisata Max Kain in the Minister of Water Resources, as we there we look inside the water challenge, and same also Salon they join other countries and the world for celebrate the day. We come back to you and look at some of the policies that we don't put in place. Musa?
The program Good Morning Salon they continue. We they come to we other studio guests winner Engineer Marwan Kalon, Managing Director Guma Water Company. Already we don't they get messages then for you. And we just want to urge we listeners and viewers, if you in a community where they get water challenge or they get access to water, you can drop under the comment section. We'll read them to the authorities them we concerned for water. If they get in your community, if they get water challenge or you get water in your community, just drop a text at the Facebook page or with 0779981981. We will read all two now. And Guma Valley Water Company, when they join the rest of the world for celebrate World Water Day. From the Guma Valley perspective, what will they celebrate this year?
Thank you very much for that question. Just like we Minister say, the World Water Day in celebration day, we Guma Valley the join with the ministry for celebrate that. And at the same time, in Sierra Leone, we get our own theme. We minister don't say we will save when a year of accelerated delivery. We in a we own theme for this year. We will work on or celebrate.
Now, let me look at Guma services then. In the past years, what are some of the things them we Guma don't do for improve water access to communities?
Thank you very much. This is now a very interesting question. Before I answer, I just want to bring something to your attention, please. Freetown is a city where they grow every day. And the Guma Dam itself, they be built in 1961. Then built that dam initially for 500,000 people. And now we talk about more than 1,250,000 people. And every day that number they grow. So over the years, whatever improvement Guma they do, it appear like, they see the physical, because as we improve, now so the population will grow. But one thing I can tell you, President Bio in government, together with the minister, we don't develop the strategic plan at the ministry. So now we don't only look at how we for improve, but we also look at how we for improve for match with the population growth. So at the end of the day, whatever we do, the only affects the people that really come in new, but it also affects the people that we don't deal with Guma. So one of the things we don't do over the years, just like minister say, you look at Guma Valley during the dry season. Guma we rely mainly on mile 13, but we also get other sources of water then, like the Pogo Dam, the blue water, where at the end of the day, then safe can help Guma Valley. But what can happen normally during the dry season, then whereas it can dry out. So problem can everybody they rely on mile 13. So what don't happen? Since Sierra Leone we blessed during the rainy season, we get a lot of water. So we don't build raw water storage facilities. We in less than a month, within like 2-3 weeks from now, because we don't do 9 we do, and each one of them is so huge that it will able to take enough water for serve that section of Freetown for weeks. So in the next 2-3 weeks, that it will done. So when next we get a rainy season, we'll be able to store enough amount of water. So during the dry season, that shortage will make people then feel the pinch. See, this is not dry season, we will forget, especially for areas like the regions, because we will store enough raw water, we will treat and then send out to the people then. And then one thing that we minister touched on, very interesting, where I want to bring to the attention of everyone. Water with the sea and they can free like rain or the river where they flow. But for let water go, now us, for meet people then, for let them drink out, it will go through a lot of process. We treat them with chemical for take away all the particles then. We also filter them for take away any minute particle way inside the water. Then at the same time, we get some chemical where they take away all the bacteria and the viruses and we will affect us in. They would also get a little dosage when a residual chemical where they take care of anything we will meet up within the pipeline. So at the end of the day, by the time where the water they meet you and your host, it will look pure for drink. And all the thing they come free. Some of the chemical we use, even in a shelf necessarily for sale. The other from outside for like camp. And the pipeline again, if you watch, just like what I say in 1961, some of the infrastructure there has they don't age, some they may not be asbestos, and so we don't begin to change them. Recently, we get a project where they go on about 45 kilometers of pipeline, where they try for extend that from. Now, not only for change the one they we did, but also for extend with service to other communities. Okay. The one that cost huge amount of money.
All right, engineer, plenty people believe say since 1961 to now, as the population they grow, at the same thing with the reform government after government of the dam we are in, now certain number of people and they make them for waiting Guma they do as we forget about some of them talk them they for prepare a new service for Salone people.
Thank you very much. So just like we say initially, now we get a strategic plan. The strategic plan will only look at we own expansion. It will also look at the population, how the population will grow. So at the end of the day, it's not just expanding for the growth of population, but we also expand for take care of the side that we don't be get water, and also include the one that we did come in. So at the end of the day, this talk who they talk say, oh, the dam we don't belong for from 1961. I think that we will try to forget about her with time.
Continue for the week inside the program. In name na engineer Mariwan Kalon, in the managing director for Guma Valley Water Company. We'll come back over to you, but we'll take a short break. When we can continue the program. Good morning, Salon.
Salon Commercial Bank don't come with new banking products them for make life easy. With Million Online Bank and Million Mobile app, you can able for use Salon Link money transfer for send money to anybody. It let you not get bank account. Transfer or receive money na the same bank or any other bank. Transfer money to person or office. It let you not get the account number. Buy Edsalite, pay other bill them, and now get advanced salary. You don't need for worry again, but almost money then you earn. Because you can able for pay for things the way you buy in a supermarket and other shop them with the quick response code payment. Yagbadon done for the boss man them. With Beyond Online Direct, you can upload salary, pay all your supplier them, sell forex to Salon Commercial Bank, and watch your account anytime. If you need the app, download them from Google Play Store or any Apple Store, or go to Salon Commercial Bank website www.slcb.com. Sierra Leone Commercial Bank, delivering God.
You dey get problem for find the right bank for keep you couple or do business? Union Trust Bank UTB na your solution. UTB they do internet banking where they make them easy for you for know wetin dey happen with your account any side you dey anytime you put or take money. We dey give we customers them loan we no go monitor them for pay at all. Oh yes, Union Trust Bank na the bank for you. Na UTB, all we customers them special and we get good workman them where they cater for all we customers them banking service. We then a plenty sign at the country. We then a Kabbalah, Cambia, Lonsal, Jala, Maboka, Bo, Kenema, Kono and Mile 91. You can get more information but we at www.utb.sl or come now we head office na number 2 House Street, Freetown. Union Trust Bank, now the true bank for you.
The program Good Morning Salon, they continue to come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. If you just stay join with today, they talk to the Minister for Water Resources and Sanitation, we na Dr. Sawo Pakto Anna Maxkine, and also the Managing Director Guma Valley Water Company, we na Engineer Mariwan Kalon. We look at the provision of water service in the country as Salon they join the rest of the world for celebrate World Water Day. Inside the program Good Morning Salon, they go and get the voice of people across the country as to what's in the makeup of the provision of water service in the country. But quick we go say according to the team lead for WashNet Salon, Musa and Sumana Soko, one challenge we they happen at the water sector now because institutions them were responsible for water business at the country know they work as one. They talk this inside one interview to the Democracy where they talk about the situation of water na the country. Musa and Sumana Soko talk more to Sonia Bell inside this interview.
WashNet na a platform of civil society organizations working on water, sanitation, and hygiene services. So we work primarily for advocate and bring the voices of people who enable for get access to their services there to the fore policy and planning, so that governments as well as other duty bearers can able to take the right action.
With what you don't say, so what's actually the scope or the problem to access to clean water na the country presently?
The problems are enormous, and few of the challenges now that we get limited financing for address the growing and emerging needs of the people. That the number of people still waiting the access queue remains to be very high, especially when the service is not a match the growing and emerging challenges. The other one are the fact that we get a weak coordination, where also they limit the sector from progressing very well. We get a lot of players at the sector, but then we are not coordinated. Everybody they do things as they want them, and that also not they help the sector in any way, because we go find out say a lot of the services that what people they provide at the community level also they fail over time. And so as long as we're able to coordinate and make sure say we hold we self accountable, it becomes significantly difficult for able to contribute to sustain services. The other one are the fact that capacity of citizens who are the users of the services also remain very weak in terms of maintenance as well as preventive maintenance, making sure that citizens are able to get the right capacity and tools for able to service their own water systems in the course of breakdown. And so we see that as a significant challenge. The other one are the policy overlaps, regulatory irregularities. We see say the policy is a name in place, but it also empower different entities with different powers. And so them powers they conflict with each other, where they make it become very difficult for make the institutions and people there coordinate among themselves. And the last one I go on for say now the fact that the challenges there are so many, and one of them last challenge I go on for talk about are the aspect of funding for make sure say government able to deliver the growing needs or the required services where citizens could get. Even at the local council level, we're supposed to drive development at the respective districts. We still get them challenged because funding not they come on time, as well as the allocation remains very weak and limited.
Okay, so what's in some of the initiative or projects the way una don't implement towards this una goal una want to achieve?
We don't implement a lot of projects, and the recent one we work on are the strengthening wash systems for health project, when a 4 years project funded by FCDO, and we implement them together with Goal in Sierra Leone. The project basically they look at key areas of wash. The one now for able for look at governance, coordination, and legislative arrangement. The other one they look at solid as well as liquid waste management, as well as the last one looking at wash in healthcare facilities.
That's Sonia Bell, they talk to the team lead for WashNet with Salon Wena Musa and Sumana Soko. According to Ram, lack of coordination are one of the major challenges in the water sector. We get the Ministry of Water Resources, we get Guma Valley Water Company, and also we get Saluwaco. We all then body are charged with the responsibility for policy issues and provision of water. But according to one of the civil societies them with work on water business in the country, say this is a major challenge. I can tell you, Madam Minister, Dr. Sao Bakto and Max Kine, lack of coordination, according to Ansumana Sokona, major challenge. Usa una can draw the line between then three institutions as way they operate in the provision of water services, and how una can work together as body way government creates for provide water.
Thank you. Let's first of all say coordination is not just with government agencies, but also people and with the outside government where they provide water services, people with the outside government where they also provide services were related to water, not necessarily taking the water, like Soko himself. I'm not going to sit down there and say my colleague not give the exact picture, but I can say Mr. Soko now know the people that we work with, and he's part of the coordination structure. It's possible, a lot of times we talk about literature, like when I said, when I can I ask 2 years ago, this was the narrative. You understand? And during this 2-year period, collectively, including with Soko, so I'll not been getting enough time for explain all the things the way we don't do. I should say that time not been do. But definitely with him, one, we have a national partners where we meet quarterly, and he sits on that. We get steering committees where all donors, with partners like NGO partners, government partners, with agencies, they sit on, and he sits on that. We even get a steering committee for one of the 30 issues we get for do with the Western Area Peninsula. We all, when I say people in the bill, where the books known, where they threaten the water source. And one strategic thing we do, we make sure so we get the Peninsula Steering Committee, when me and the Ministry of Environment, the head, so-called the Sidon Day. It's a challenge, like I agree with them. It's not something that would go overnight, but there are processes where he's part of, where he has been very instrumental in and very supportive for make sure say them process then they go before. So I'm sure those challenges are there, but they are gradually being addressed in terms of coordination. Now within the government itself, you get different players. You talked about the Ministry of Health. Definitely, Ministry of Health is a very key player when it comes to sanitation, hygiene, water, because when you're looking at health issues, water 90 cause health issue if you not give good water, safe drinking water to people. So that is why we work collaboratively with them. When you look at we agencies, we supervise them, and they give them the policy direction and give oversight over everything when they do. That is the people that when are the utilities, that is Guma Valley and Salwako. And then we have the regulators when are EWRC and NWRMA. We guide them in terms of government policy. So because of that, we meet with them every fortnight. They come to us, and then they tell me, we like monitor, what is it that you have done from this last time? What is it that you had, so we do that, and then they tell you about partners that they are working with. Now with NGOs, where mostly are non-government players, what we do is we have service level agreements with all of them. In fact, it is a precondition for you able to register with the Ministry of Planning and Economic Development. You get service level agreement. So all of these are coordination structures. So if you ask me in relation to what Mr. Soko say, yes, we had coordination challenges where I identify even as a coming, but there are processes where people outside government are part of, partners where they come and bring money in, they come, they're part of. Then he also talked about financing, which I had also mentioned, the financing. I said it's a challenge and it's gradual. Money business is not easy for just spend. But then we have put systems in place as a camp. We have secured, I think we launched it and it was all over the news, 180 million funding from the World Bank, where they address a lot of then things there, so where we all don't highlight, including waiting with partners and don't highlight.
Okay.
Then there's also other funding sources. I mean, the African Development Bank, where now them and other players, the Kuwaiti Fund, where don't do that, like those 10 or 9 new storages. So the processes are in place.
Then coordinations, then process, then funding. Yeah, still they get challenge in the water sector and access to water across the board. And as according to the 2019 school census reports, with MBSS and DSTI do, but 21% of schools them across the country not get access to water. We risk about 416,000 school picking them, and the number of picking them with they enroll in schools and don't increase. We mean say more numbers don't expose to no water na the schools them. What thing una don't they do over the years for reduce the number so and ensure say critical institutions them get access to water?
Okay, let me first talk about the data where you talk about. Of course, data now one of the area they will get for investing. But normally when we inform population, I mean we citizens, it's also good for let we tell them what the data was before and as to the time when they say. Because we own data they will get. Definitely we have seen an increase in access. Like you said, the challenge is good day. You not will ever get a 100% situation. That is the realistic.
According to my own data, what's the percentage of schools?
The realistic.
Yeah, according to my own data, what's the percentage?
I'm not getting off the cuff, but definitely we are working with the Ministry of Education, and one of the policies is that every time you build a school, you get for build water facilities. There is no school; it's part of the package.
It happened now?
Yeah, there is no school. That's the design. If you're building a school, you get for build toilet facility, you get for build water. That is government policy.
What about the way they exist now? Before the policy
and the one where they exist where they not get like wells or something, there are programs within the Ministry of Education, because say health in schools we they work with Ministry of wash in schools we they work with Ministry of Education, but they are taking the lead in that. They get programs that were funded by other agencies, where even government where they go and look at schools that we not get. It's not going to be something where you go grab and deceitfully tell people to say every side where within the country you get wash. No, but we have to be realistic for telling and say in so years we had X number of schools were not been get, but we have moved it to some level, because development never stops. Okay. Not only here in everywhere, even in terms of your personal life. Every time you meet as you address one like Engineer Mariwan say, as they build facilities. More people they can have free tongue. They are going up the hills. The challenge they did, so the challenge will never go away because people are mobile. This is a dynamic world.
Continue for stay with me inside the program. We'll come with a look at more programs them where una they do na the ministry and what una they do for provision of water resources. We go get people voices across the country, Usman.
The program Good Morning Salon they continue to cover now to Engineer Kalon. Engineer, una they in charge of Freetown. Who side the problem they will make we know able get 24-hour water supply?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. So just like what I say, the damming capacity initially and now the population. So we know we're able to supply the entire fruits of 24 hours. But however, we too very good. For every 48 hours, we make sure say all these sections that we will provide services for let them get water for at least 8 hours. However, the 8 hours will gain areas and some areas and they don't grow in terms of the number of houses and in terms of the number of people, in terms of the number of connections that we didn't get. To the point that if we say we open the tap for that whole area and for that in 8 hours, then altogether it's difficult for the reach in certain locations. So what did it happen? We get regulators and we did say, okay, these 8 hours, this section they get for 5 hours, this gets for 3 hours, this get for 2 hours, as the case may be. But for every 48 hours, people then are free to they get water for some hours.
All right, you are aware of concern from the public that Guma they go with water rates now some hosts their way don't pass 2 years, they not get water.
Thank you very much. This is an interesting question. I get some data with the last time the chief minister been invite me in my office with me and discuss. And when I take over Guma leadership, because of my experience, the road maintenance fund, road side, and the salary, I'm very much familiar with the data. So we look at the number of customers that we will get. We look at the database, we find out we get about 91,000 customers. Out of that 91,000 customers, we find out most of them are customers and where they can register, where they change address, they will register again and change address, they will register again. Especially people that don't get houses in Africa where they rent. So we find out about only 31,000 customers and we operate with. Out of that 31,000 customers, 18,000 will be billed because some of them they claim say they need to get water, but even when we engineers and we find out say some of the areas, some of them it's actually true. And when we find out say they get water in the area because of some reason, we they stop for billing. But immediately when we solve the problem, we they start for billing again. That is the situation.
Oh, what about the meter where Guma Valley being promised people for come with?
The meters some of the customers get meters, but that's nothing we get serious challenge with. Just like the minister said. The water rate na Sierra Leone is very, very, very low. This nothing we don't do from 2021. Then in the dollar na be something like 10 billions and fuel na be something like 10 to 12 billions. Now they do the water rate. So some people they need on flat charges, how much will be charging? 150 billions a month. You understand? So when they fix meter and we actually try to bill them based on which they use, some people then go ahead and destroy the meter. But that's not the case. You understand? The meters some houses in the we do very well. Meters in the some businesses in the get meter. And right now as we speak, so we get 2,000 meters we don't come in the World Bank save through the help of President Bill and the minister. We try to procure a total of 23,000 meters in. We all need to come and here we install in all the houses in. And I'll tell you one interesting thing. We recently traveled to Hungary together with the other leaders of the road sector, of the water sector in Hungary. One thing came out very interesting, that when you install meter in the houses there, they only make the institution get more revenue for provide more water, but it also help people then for regulate the amount of water they use. Some people they need them tap you because whether they use boku water, they use small water and 150 billions with the bill them. But when you install meter, they take time amount of water they use, they take time how they waste water, and therefore more people will get access to water. So that meter business, nothing and the way we say very important and we work towards it.
All right, before we take material inside the program, not to say even government building them people way a government official not the pay water rate and one of the factors then they where they ambog una service as well for give water to Salon people?
This is a very interesting question. You see, President Buren government are very responsible government. So we get a minister, we don't stop at anything when we care matter to them. Yeah. Yes, we get institutions and we government institutions and we delay for pay, which is sometimes normal with even some businesses. But as we speak now, recently, when we get engagement with the minister and Ministry of Finance, they don't actually follow, we provide the list of all the one that we owe you. And most times, because we don't join Guma in November last year, so based on the record that anytime we them money them come book, government they pay. And we get government institutions every month they pay them bill. Every month they pay them bill. And the one that we left behind, 2 Ministry of Finance, through the minister where they get the money.
You bill don't they pay them water rate?
Yes, they pay, but not always as I explained to you. You know, say you billing na boku ministries. Some they pay, some they don't pay, but at the end of the day, we get the money all.
But most times where they go, you believe they see the people where they help the ministers, then the gym water they go up. What think you happen?
Okay, so Guma Valley we responsibility na follow cow water na goes. You understand? And when the water don't reach na goes, we connect them to your internal system. So your internal system, even with all over the world, you understand? We get high-rise building. They can get a then a whole part of building design, engineer.